Meta reports earnings tomorrow. Are you ready for both the bull case and the bear case? If not, I got you covered in today's Courage Pays Better Than Fear mini. Let's check it out. All right, so Meta will be reporting earnings Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. We are in the thick of earnings season. The Mag 7 is reporting. Here's a look at the Meta chart on the daily. Let me delete this line here because that's indicating for us that earnings is tomorrow. And you can see that right now, as I'm recording this, we are currently inside yesterday's candle. So we do have pressure building. And just from a technical standpoint, we are above this 20 EMA on the daily. And we are sitting right on these thick volume nodes. So there is some support here. And if we really look, we could see that we have a double bottom pattern. And this really, if you're looking at all big tech right now, broader markets, you are seeing these patterns in place. But the thing about this double bottom pattern on Meta is just how far it has to go to break that neckline. That neckline being up here at the 50 SMA on the daily. Not to say that it can't get there, but it's going to have quite a lot to work through in order to break above and close that neckline. And this candle, if you remember, is the Trump 90-day tariff pause candle, which just coincides there with that 50 on the daily. And so just looking here, if we look at the resistance above us, we have the 50 simple moving average on the weekly. We have the 200 simple moving average on the daily. And then above that, we have the 50 SMA on the daily. Again, that coincides with that neckline. And in order for this thing to get a powerful move and really start running back up to where it was in February, when it hit $740, its all-time high, it's going to have to break all of these moving averages. So it's not just the 50 and closing above that neckline, but even looking above that, we have the 100 simple moving average on the daily. It's going to have to get above that. If it does, you can see just how much of a clear path there is up to all-time highs. So again, we're seeing this technical pattern, this technical resistance really on the majority of charts. You have all these moving averages above that these tickers have to work through, and it's no different for Meta. Now, if we just go back and look at the last few times that Meta reported earnings, this was back in January right here. It did gap up, but you could see it faded and sold down and moved sideways there for a bit before pushing back up to all-time highs. So we'll call that a gap up, fade down. So it didn't really hold its gains. If we come over to October, we had a gap down and it moved sideways before really just chopping around before the election. And then if we come over to the summertime, we could see this particular case. This was in July. We gapped up. It didn't hold its gains. It faded down. And if we go before that, this was April. So 1 year ago, what did it do? It gapped down and then got bought up from there. So if we're just counting and doing sheer probabilities here, April of 24 gap down. We have July of 24 gap up, fade down. We have October of 2024 gap down. And we have February of this year, gap up, fade down. So this one could have an opportunity to pop out of here. Again, we've sold down really across the board on everything. So Meta could be prime, but there are a lot of moving averages above it in terms of resistance. So we're going to have to see if it's able to break through that. And you can see where if we're looking at the VRVP here, this is the volume profile. There's a lot that it's going to have to push through in terms of resistance. And let's just go take a look at the monthly. We could see we're really just building some support and a base down here by the weekly 100 SMA. And the last time we were down around that 100, we'd have to go back to May of 2023. And that was really the start of the big push that Meta has been on. So potentially this is just stabilizing here. It's consolidating. It's building pressure for a move higher. And then if we go over here to the monthly, you almost have what appears to be a hammerish type candle, although that upper wick is a little bit long for it to be considered a hammer. It did find support there at the 100 on the weekly, like we talked about. And we also have this 20 EMA on the monthly. So we'll see. Is this enough of a correction pullback here on Meta? Let's just measure this out from all-time highs to the lows that it recently made. That's 35%. So bear territory for Meta, but it's been pretty strong. So we'll see. From a technical perspective, in terms of how I'm looking at this, there's just a lot of resistance above it. And so really what we're looking at, if it has a poor earnings, we have support down here below us at the 100 SMA on the weekly where it should get bought up. That would be the 1, 2, 3 times, third times it's testing that. So it should get bought up out of there. If it were to break that 100 SMA in the weekly, if you just take a look and we keep zooming out, there's really not much below until you get to the 50 on the monthly, which would be quite a ways away. That would be a massive move down. That would really drag down the broader market significantly. I can't see that happening. So really what I'm looking for, if it does gap down on earnings, that 100 SMA should be the support area. And then in terms of the move up, again, like I talked about on Google last week, really you have to watch. I'm going to watch this 200. I think it will break through that weekly. But that 200 will be the area to see, hey, can it push out of here or does it get rejected and move sideways? And then you're just looking above it. Okay, what's next? You have that 50, and then this is that neckline. This is the key area to watch. If it breaks that, then it should get up into this 100, that 615 area. And if it breaks the 100, it's smooth selling back up to all-time highs. Not saying it's going to hit that right away, but if it could position itself, it does have room to the upside. So there you have it. Meta earnings is coming. What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments below. Are we going to gap up? Are we going to gap down? Or are we just going to chop sideways? Whatever's going to happen, it's going to have an impact on the broader markets. And I can't wait. I will see you back here next time. I'm going to be covering Microsoft and its earnings report. So make sure you check that out. And until then, make it a great day. Take care.